on, everyone? Welcome back to the Ultimate Fantasy Locker Room. How's everybody doing?
We're doing great.
That was
So we got a lot to talk about today. A little bit of chaos at the Kentucky Derby. We're going to touch on some free agents that are still available. We'll talk about that MVP discussion a little bit. We'll get into our new ass of the week. We won't spoil the surprise yet. And a little bit of basketball playoffs. But before we get into all of that stuff, let me get Zach over here to read some of our favorite comments of the week.
Yeah. So if you follow us on any of our social medias or you watch the show, comment because you might be shouted out. I've got a few of these here. I actually dug up one we talked about from another episode before. We were talking about how we went on a different podcast and Brant Lincoln of that show played basketball, and we were trying to figure out how he was backpedaling a little bit. So I found the receipts.
That's a callback.
Yeah, so we've got he said, "It has happened to me. I was just too nervous on air." Wow. So backpedal.
Brant, that's weak, Brant.
Major backpedal.
Super weak, Brant.
Come on the show and, plead your case.
Yeah.
And then I said the last thing we need is for Mark.
you. It happens, man.
So should we change the name of his show from the wet slap?
The wet balls.
Or something slaps.
Ball slap.
The ball slap.
Yeah.
I did comment on it. I said the last thing we need is for Mark to feel validated. So
Yeah.
Don't worry. I always feel validated, but thanks, Brant.
Thanks, Tara.
Coming through on that one.
And just to, when we set you up, we're going to knock you down because you talked, you had a pretty, controversial take on the Bengals draft and how that went.
Yeah, people really don't like you, but it's good.
Some do, some don't, man. It's I don't mind towing that line.
Most don't.
I don't need to pander.
It's obvious.
I don't need to pander to our fans like some people here.
I don't pander
Whoa,
to
right.
anybody.
Pandering
With your voting, and not only guys on draft,
Me?
but also everybody is.
I didn't even post about it this week.
I will be controversial as shit. I don't care. You like me. You don't like me. It don't matter.
Yeah, but it doesn't count. It doesn't count if you're just being controversial to be controversial.
No. The Bengals had a shitty draft.
I don't know if
Point
that's
blank.
true, but
So let's hear it. What, somebody called out that it wasn't 3 safeties because I said safety in the shit. And
No,
well, guess what? ESPN has them all ranked as safeties, so you can suck it.
well, we want to make the facts the facts.
You would think that I would
Especially
pull a
you.
logical comment about,
but you didn't.
something about the positions of the players.
No, don't do that.
So Nick Step
That's no
7 with 2 P's says Bears hat on and thinks his opinion is relevant. So I figured throw that in there a little bit because you were wearing a Bears hat that show. That is a fact. You were wearing a Bears hat.
I was.
Yeah.
Opinion is relevant. Because guess what? Chicago wins that division. Suck it again.
Well, Mark
Blah.
how much has Mark, what's in that right now? Like, is that pure?
I don't know.
Like
Bush Light,
all bourbon?
I can smell it from here.
Boilermaker.
It's stronger than Bush. So, yeah.
Oh, and guess what?
You seem like a Bush guy.
Newsflash. ESPN still has 3 of those draft picks listed as primary position safety. Daxton Hill, CTB, and also Tyson Anderson. Although people were saying Tyson Anderson is
So you're aligning
hybrid
yourself
linebacker.
with ESPN.
Well, I mean, it's just they are the worldwide leader in sports, and this is a sports show.
Self-proclaimed.
You seem upset.
Yeah, I thought you said you did not need validation.
No,
it seems like you're
I
trying
didn't say
to
that.
validate
I said
yourself.
I said I like
no,
validation.
No, you just said
Did I?
you just said it.
But it's to be validated. It's nice though.
That's the great thing about a podcast. You can just go back
Yeah,
and
you
say,
just
yeah,
said
you
it.
just said that.
Yeah.
And then you tried to validate yourself.
That's fine.
Well, more validation. I happen to have said the Panthers were, improved from their draft, and they might vie for like a 7th seed perhaps. And I got a W train going in the comments. I wanted to shout out, It Jack, Bell Kennels, and Howard Harris 62 for giving me some W's.
So 3 Carolina fans in the entire NFL. I mean,
Hey, good luck with that.
I like how he reads all the positive shit for him, and he reads all the negative shit for
There's
me.
only positive things. Well, actually, to put a cherry on top, G Melly 55 said the guy is wearing a Bears hat, calling out the Bengals. Those are the comments.
That's what it is. I mean, I think we do have a couple of. He got a couple of Super Bowl appearances and a championship.
Congratulations.
yeah.
It's very deliberate. Suck.
Throw that out there.
The bourbon's fighting back.
Yeah.
That's a 7-Eleven VIP big gulp.
You go there 711 times.
7-Eleven rewards.
Platinum member, baby.
Platinum member.
Yeah.
Premium unleaded member.
He goes there on Christmas. They let him fill it up with chili and cheese.
Diamond status. Yeah. Well, guess what? I'll never invite you guys into that sweet back room that they have for us.
Oh, that doesn't
Platinum
sound
members.
fun.
I've seen the sweet front room. I don't think I want to go to the sweet back room.
Yeah, when I picture the sweet back room, I picture linoleum kind of peeling off in sections.
Picture the salty room.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's where they put all the hardened nacho cheese.
It's all the
They scrape it off the
microwavable
walls for Mark.
single packed burritos you could ever want.
Somebody's doing meth.
You know what they don't have? You know what they don't have? They don't have corn dogs. That's what they don't have there. How about that?
No, that
I seen a corn dog at a racetrack, so.
I know.
It's the manager on duty.
But that's
doing
like
meth.
one gas station.
Oh man, this is terrible.
Okay.
It's denigrated.
Next
so.
comment.
No, that's it.
Okay. Oh, thank God.
Yep.
So any news today, guys? Any breaking news?
Yeah, Thomas Brady,
Yeah. You know,
whenever he retires, is going to go to Fox.
is that what he said? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and he also, he
Well,
he
yeah,
kind of aggravates
signed the
me.
contract.
You know, we know he aggravates me.
Well, see, this is, okay.
Today
There's an issue. Can I just say something real
Go
quick?
ahead, yeah.
There's an issue.
Yeah.
I mean,
Here's the issue.
a man of your age to
He
have
spends,
this.
Listen, he spends all off season trying to get off the Bucks. There's this big rumor about him trying to get to the Miami Dolphins.
This is all
He ret-
debatable.
No, it's not. He retires.
This is the hard
right?
facts.
He retires, gets his coach fired, comes back, and then today he tweets, "There's work to be done. So excited to be back with the Bucks." Hell.
That's
and
good.
now he's going to Fox. What the hell are you doing,
You know,
Brady?
he's making more money with his 10-year contract with Fox Sports than he did in all of his NFL earnings. I think like 20 million more.
He's a beautiful, well-accomplished man.
He's a good-looking man.
And there's an issue.
But wait, let me ask you a
There
question.
is an issue.
Do you think, seriously, all joking aside, do you think he's going to be a great announcer?
I don't know.
Or do you think
I don't
he's
know.
going to take the vanilla because he doesn't
No.
want to be controversial?
No,
He's funny when like they do that golfing thing with him and Peyton. He throws some jokes.
you get a
out
couple.
there.
You get a couple of avocado tequilas in him before the broadcast.
Once he retires, he's letting it all go.
Yeah,
So
you're
you
gonna
think
get
he's
some.
gonna
You're
get
gonna get
fat?
something to drink.
I don't think he's gonna get fat, but I think he'll
That would be funny.
stop with all
So
the
here's what I want to know, right?
ridiculousness.
You think so?
This dude keeps.
Yeah, well, why not? A little bit. You got all that money. What the hell are you gonna do with
So
it?
this dude keeps coming back, right, year after year, a la Brett Favre, right? And now signs a lucrative 10-year deal with Fox. I want to know, goddamn, how terrible was Giselle at home? Like, why does this dude?
Yeah, he doesn't
he's
wanna be
just
around
trying
his
to
children
line
either.
up, not being like, are his kids bad as shit? Like, do they not listen at all? Like, Tom, what are you doing, man?
It's hard for Mark to understand because he just quit
Well,
his job.
Yeah, no, he's unemployed.
Not everybody wants to lay around the house, Mark.
No, but I mean, how much?
The
but
unemployed life is fantastic.
but
by
is
the way.
there-
Like for a week.
is there a point where, like, and I'm being serious here? Is there a point where there's enough money?
No.
Yeah, he's got
don't
enough
think so.
money.
No, like I mean, is there a point where you'd say, "Yeah, I'm going to buy that sailboat and just sell off with the family and enjoy things"?
He's
I don't
got
think-
that money. He's got
Yeah.
if he's taking price cuts to stay with Tampa to sign other veterans and such to win a championship again, the guy's got money.
Yeah, his priorities aren't money.
That money is not a concern.
He just wants another. Guys like this, he's been playing football how long? They need something to challenge, something to do. I mean,
yeah, like how about
how do you go from that to like sitting in your house all day?
Well, I don't know. Maybe the challenge is get your kids to clean up after themselves. Maybe stay at home and try to ride that one out. I mean, you ain't gonna face a defense tougher than your goddamn
So you
children.
don't
let me
even
tell
want to
you,
hit the chores in the house now.
It's a good tagline.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
So what would that tagline be, Mark?
For
Tom,
what?
stay home with the kids.
You know,
I don't know. Yeah, I got to sit on that one for a minute. And
you
think
know
about it.
Don't crush it.
the poem book Milk and Honey. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Whoa, it just got real weird.
Well, there's a poem book and it has like one like word phrases or like sentences. We should just do like that for Mark, like Foster's and depression or something. I don't know. And then like, and then just like make like everything that you say that's worth it like that. That was a pretty good one. We should lead the book with that. Like Tom Brady, the hardest defense he'll face is
Listen,
raising his kids.
My job is to
Yeah.
drop fucking gems all over this studio floor.
Okay,
all right?
Mark
It's up to
Donna.
you guys to
Is that
pick
what you
them
call
up.
them?
It's up to you guys to pick them up and utilize them as you so wish.
Polished-
Like trashy,
polished turds.
white trashy gems.
Black diamonds, brother.
It's just
Black
crystal
diamonds.
meth.
Rhinestones.
Rhinestones, belly button rhinestones.
I don't know where we're going with that, but I'm going to take it somewhere else.
Pressing issues. What's the issue? If there's issues,
What's going to press them?
Into rhinestones.
Come on down. Baby, get ready.
They have belly button lit on them.
Now, I like
Yeah,
horses
this-
as much as the next guy.
Yeah, but that saved us from Mark.
What?
Because I felt like Mark was going
I like where Mark was going.
down the
the
rabbit
first.
trail.
Hey, Mark's a wild ride. That's
Hey,
what he
man.
is. That's why he's here.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
You can't be. You can't
Mark's
be.
a wild ride.
Don't-
Don't
that
say
be,
you
You
can't
can't
keep
be-
talking about
can't be
you
vanilla
can't keep
pudding.
do that because now people just
Mr.
It's
Mark's
like seems contrived, you know.
Mr. Mark's wild ride.
Mr. Mark's wild ride.
I don't know. So that's our first issue is
Cletus.
the Kentucky Derby winner. No, I'm
Thank
not,
you, Rocky. Ooh,
I am not going to hit the banjo.
Kentucky.
I want to hit the banjo music, but I'm not. But
Man, you know what? This is a big nothing burger for me because we can't even bet on it.
I know.
Mm.
And what is a horse race if you can't bet on it?
Well, you could if you're.
Yeah.
It's a big waste of time.
No, you could if your friend who can't handle alcohol would just have betted in Vegas for you.
But is he your friend? And is it true that you were going to bet him?
Oh no! So I was telling.
Where's the
Zach-
proof?
I mean, I don't have proof. You
Well,
have to
then I
trust
don't
me.
think it's
Objection,
true.
hearsay.
You have to trust me. Trust me. But we've done this now for the last 5 or 6 years.
If it's not documented, it wasn't done.
Listen, I love you.
Rule number
I
1.
love the hell out of you, but you were going to bet this guy.
You were
So
going to
we
put a
bet-
G on
we
him.
We bet the 5 riskiest picks. The last 5 years.
Well, you didn't, but
No, I didn't. But we had the last couple years, and it started with $50 bets, and then 100.
Yes.
And then as we started making a little more money,
Yeah.
and this was
So
our
a little
second
more
year
money.
with the 1,000. Last year I lost mostly, but
yeah.
cleared a little bit. Made one of the horses placed, made about $2,000 back, but lost about $3,000.
I like how you justify with how much money you won back, even though overall you still lost.
Yeah,
So yeah, we're
Like,
down
I
10.
made like
bro.
Have you
$2,000.
been there?
Still lost
Listen,
3 overall.
Have you been to the Derby?
There's a chance that Trisha's going to listen to this.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm trying to make sure she
Backtrack.
understands. I only lost 1,000, last year.
Wow.
You know what? You know what Trish is gonna think when she hears that? She's gonna be like, "That son of a bitch. We could have been at the Derby drinking mint juleps
No.
at a G
No,
a
I've never-
piece
I've
instead
never
of
been
you
to the- I think-
losing it."
Trisha would look wonderful in one of those.
I've never
dresses.
been to the Derby.
We should get Mark in
Maybe
one
you know
of those
what? Maybe
hats.
next year should that be our road trip?
I wouldn't
Derby?
mind. It's a little rich for my taste, but I mean,
Yeah.
if you're paying for me, I'll go.
See, that's what it is.
I'd probably be the youngest one there.
They're gonna be.
Well, listen, you're inviting me to the Kentucky Derby. I mean, it's just I'm not going to be able to swing.
They're gonna be
man.
confused when you walk in there. They're gonna be like, "Is this guy a jockey? maybe he's riding one of the donkeys."
Hey,
Is there
I'll
a
ride
donkey
you in,
race?
motherfucker.
Someone's gonna place a bet on. Someone's gonna place a bet on Phil.
This jockey went to hell. Get him in the sauna.
Good. Just a solid short joke. Solid short joke.
Well, let's talk
I'm
about.
not mad at it.
Do you guys know the story about Rich Strike?
No, but tell us.
Please don't make it too long, and I know the story, but
Dude, no, but-
I'll humor you.
No, it's a good story, right?
Yeah, it's cool.
So he was racing in Youngstown on Friday, right?
Youngstown, PA, or Youngstown, Ohio.
Youngstown, Ohio.
It's a traders like. Are you talking about? Okay, go ahead. I'll let you finish your
Well,
story.
no, I mean because you can fact check me because this is the story I heard.
From
He-
who?
He wasn't. It was on ESPN. Actually.
Oh, okay. Well,
He wasn't.
Worldwide
a-
leader in sports.
we know what
He
they
wasn't
think about
even-
safeties.
He wasn't even supposed to be in the race. There was a situation where one of the horses dropped out, and they literally plucked him out, got him to the Derby.
That's not how it happened.
By dropped out, do you mean euthanized?
So they have
Yeah.
these races with horses that it's basically they take a bunch of junk horses, right? And they race them for the owners to try to sell them. So he won that race.
Right.
It was a few days before.
Yeah, in Youngstown.
And somebody bought him,
Right.
and then that person then was able to enter him into the race.
Okay, so he was a late.
But he wasn't like
entrance.
selected by the
Yeah,
Derby.
He was a late
yeah,
entrance.
he was a late entrance.
Okay,
yeah.
so that makes sense. But-
His picture wasn't even on the promotional material or anything like that.
and they
Well-
were saying that really the 80-1 was kind of a guess. Like they didn't really have
Yeah.
a lot of history on him, But it was, and the horse had some fight because after the race,
Yeah.
he was still like trying to bite.
He's savage. You're trying
He
to
was
bite
trying to
really?
bite the
Wow.
other horses. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. So I
Bad
don't know.
boy.
It's a good story.
Yeah.
80-1. If people did bet that turned. I mean,
That blows though to hear that though, making money, but knowing that the odds could have been more if you didn't know the story behind the horse, especially since he wasn't on promos or anything like that.
Well, the first interview with the owners, they basically admitted they had no thought that he could win the race. Now, then they did a second interview about 5 minutes later.
Like, yeah, of
where
course.
they collected themselves and said, "Oh no, we knew he could win."
Yeah. He's got
But-
the fire and
Yes.
the bite.
It was like 5 minutes apart. But now you kind of hope that he wins the next race so that there's an actual.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. Now they do a thing too where when celebrity, kind of like walking the red carpet, so celebrities show up and they pick a random horse out of the top hat. And Bobby Flay picked Rich Strike, and he's on
Was
camera
pissed.
saying,
Yeah.
he's going, this horse will never win.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
even laughing.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, then he won. So.
I didn't know that.
And then he made
Shout
it
out
into-
Bobby Flay.
And then he made dinner with him. Oh.
With the horse.
He made glue.
I heard horse meat is actually pretty protein rich.
Yeah, the Italians used to make mortadella out of horse.
The Italians,
The Italians.
The Italian.
the originals,
The original mortadella was horse meat.
the Del.
You guys ever had venison?
That's
Deer?
disgusting.
Yeah, deer's pretty good.
What's disgusting? You eat fucking cow ass. Like every time you go to
Yeah,
McDonald's.
whatever's in that cup. Can I even see the cup? Can you
Whatever's in that chili at 7-Eleven.
Look, there's the cup, guys.
Yeah.
They tried
Anyway.
hiding it behind the board.
Fantastic.
What was the thing?
Shout
that
out
Mark-
Target.
What was the one? What was one of your 5 for the gas station? And we questioned it.
The
The,
nachos.
The nachos?
Yes, the nachos.
Well, that was
That's what we just-
his first overall
What is
pick.
the-
Yeah.
He's
What is-
getting old, huh?
How is that a
No,
question?
but I'm saying I knew there was something controversial. He wanted nachos from 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Specifically from. Yeah,
Someone
because
actually said
I
that
just,
they like that pick, though.
yeah,
It's weird.
because recently I just had nachos.
Where are they from?
I had
huh?
nachos from Racetrack. Them
Probably.
sons of bitches don't even
Neptune,
spice
New
their
Jersey?
cheese at all. They don't even spice their cheese. At least 7-Eleven
Spice
is
their
like
cheese?
Here's some spice.
Put a little
Yeah,
gasoline in there.
That
it's
should
like
be a Shark
it's
Tank
traditional Mexican nacho cheese out of a can.
Ultimate Fantasy Locker.
cheese. Hey, real quick, I have a
Spice
question
cheese.
for Zach and Rocky.
Oh, man.
Out of me and Mark, who would fit in less at the Kentucky Derby? Because I
mean-
think you two guys central cast in Kentucky Derby. So
What is that supposed to mean?
I mean,
Yeah.
you white guys, you got the hair, you brush to the
beard.
side, put on the seersucker suit.
You're white now. Did you know that, Zach?
So like I'm
Yeah, it
short.
depends on the
I'm
show.
short and brown, right? Well, there's more brown people there now. But he's tall and he looks like the colonel with a seersucker suit.
Okay, so saying it like that, Mark would look better there.
Yeah.
Ding ding.
Unfortunately.
100%.
Sorry, I can't.
With a
I
bucket of
I'd show up
can't
looking
get
like
enough of that.
I'd show up looking like Boss Hog too. I wouldn't give a shit.
boss hog.
Wouldn't care.
I think I Google at least one thing each episode to like see what you guys are talking about. Hey, you would look like Boss Hog.
I do wear white after Labor Day.
Was that Dukes of Hazzard?
Oh,
Oh, my parents watched Dukes of Hazzard.
All right, don't bother us.
All right, so let's go to our next topic: the NFL remaining free agents.
There's quite a few fellas out there.
There is, yeah,
Some quality men, right?
yeah, quality boys.
Yeah, there's a couple.
I'm not into that.
Two of the guys we have listed
Let's
up there
hear it for the boys.
are both trying to escape Cleveland, man. What's up with that? That must be a real shithole of a city and a team.
Yeah,
You know what? Cleveland has a nice food market downtown. I'll give you that. They have a nice downtown area that looks really good. Not a lot going on, but it looks pretty. And
Well,
they
we
have a
went-
cool
I mean-
restaurant called Melt.
we were there in the middle of winter. We got to go back in the summer.
Why?
You know what's going to
Price,
happen?
price smells.
Here's my prediction: Jared King is suddenly going to be our friend again,
I don't want to be friends with Jared King.
and he's going to want to go to the Bucks Browns game.
Yeah.
Mostly because he's going to want me to pay for the room.
Yeah, that's probably, yeah.
So I did point out, I would like to hit at least
Crazy.
one game of each of our teams this year. I think that'd be a good. I think that'd be a good thing to do.
That'd
See,
be
this is
complicated.
again you talking from the. I just sold my house.
Yeah.
I quit my job. It's very.
I'm showing up at
I
the
wanna
Kentucky
hit- yeah,
Derby.
I mean,
If I start walking now, I might make it to one of those games.
it's ridiculous.
Well,
I
Rocky,
do- wait,
looks
wait.
like it'll be you and I.
Wait, I do not want to go to the Eagles because you
Oh,
you
yes.
explained your experience.
Well, no,
there.
we're not going. I would not go to Philadelphia.
Let's
for
go to the
game.
link.
I think you guys be okay there. He
I'll give
looks
you-
like the Eagle.
I'll
so.
give you a complimentary sock
Sam
full
the
of
Eagle
batteries.
from the Muppets.
I know that one. I didn't have to Google that.
I was wondering why you were saying that. Now I get it.
Now you get it?
You know, I like your hat, by the way. That's a nice
thank
hat.
you. I appreciate it.
You know what? I'm not going to lie to you. Speaking of the link, James Bradbury, I think that they're a contender for signing him. I would love him to go there
I hope
because
he
we need a
doesn't.
corner next to Slay. Corner, not safety. ESPN, that one, Mark.
He had a down year last year. He's a really good corner. The year before, and when he was with Carolina, if you looked at his numbers he was going up against Julio, Mike
well.
Thomas. Why am I blanking on the kid from Tampa? Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Those were, I mean, he shut those guys down in 2 years he was there.
What do you think it's going to cost to sign him?
He was already expensive, right?
Yeah, well,
He was,
I
but
think he's got
still-
$11 million. He's coming.
He's getting $11 million still from the Giants. So
You think he would be fine with that pay and then go to a team
I
that
think he's
he can
still
contend
gonna.
with?
He's young, so he's still gonna need a representative contract. But
He
I
wants
think
a
you could get him on
multi-year
a discount.
contract.
So he's
Right.
turning 29, right? But
27.
no, he's turning 29.
Is he really? I
Yeah.
thought he was younger.
ESPN, 29.
So he's turning 29.
We know.
The good thing about him is
he a
that
safety?
he's very he's durable. So he's only missed 2 games in the last 5 years, right?
Wow.
And like you said, he's played at Pro Bowl level. He might have had a down year. It happens a lot of times.
Well,
with
the
these
Giants
guys.
sucked, so I can't put that all on him.
Yeah, no,
Coaching
they were getting
staff got
thrown all over
fired.
him.
Yeah.
You know, so I think he'd be a fantastic signing for anybody. You know, Chicago is a team that's in need for secondary. Obviously, Cincinnati is they drafted 3 safeties, you sons of bitches, in the draft. You know, there are plenty. There's definitely a market out there for him, and he's
for
going to
sure.
get paid.
Yeah, the only reason they weren't able to trade him because everybody knew they had to cut him eventually.
Yeah.
So they were kind of boxed into a corner.
I'm surprised that Odell hasn't really picked a place though.
Well, I think he's picked a place. I think he wants to go back with the Rams, but they're in no hurry to hire to re-sign him until they know more about his injury.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a bunch of injuries the last few years, so
That's fair.
people are going to be hesitant. I mean, I think they like him, but they went out and got
Allen Robinson.
there you go. They got Allen Robinson. So yeah, they're not really pressed to get him. I think if he can show he's healthy,
And Van
he'll
Jefferson
definitely have a job.
Van Jefferson showed up as a wide receiver 3. I mean, there is no they should not be in a rush to
The
sign
Packers
OBJ.
would love him to get Odell.
And we need Odell in the league just for Rocky's reaction.
100%.
Yeah.
He sold his house in Cleveland.
Oh, officially.
I mean, what did he was going to keep it for vacation?
Well, it's
Yeah, the food market down there is really
a
good.
beautiful place on the lake, but no. But I mean, no, he officially
He's
like
like
it
down the
actually
street.
sold.
I mean,
So
Well, another Browns wide receiver. Did you guys know that Landry has 5 Pro Bowls and that's tied with like Devontae Adams? That's tied with like all the good ones like Julio and things like that.
I'm gonna, I like Landry, and I would like the Browns to re-sign him. The rumor is that they did offer him a pretty good amount of money to sign a 1-year contract.
yeah, he doesn't want that.
He doesn't want it. Yeah, he still wants a multi-year contract. Now, remember, the Browns traded for him and then signed him to a $75 million contract. They paid him
Yeah.
a really great rate, more than
How old is
Miami
Landry now? Like 29?
29.
Yeah. And he has been getting a little bit worse, and his game was never speed. It was always route running,
Grit.
slot, and he's
I was going to say, he reminds me of
possession
Anquan
receiver.
Bolden,
Yeah.
just not as good.
But yeah, because Bolden had a little bit of speed, right?
Maybe
Was
like
A little bit.
A little
young
bit more than
when he was young, but like around this point of his career, he's more possession, tough receiver.
I think Jarvis, like to me, I don't know that David Bell isn't Jarvis Landry right now, and the Browns just drafted him in the 3rd round. So like, I get why the Browns are hesitating.
Don't know who that is.
David Bell is
Receiver, right?
who the Browns drafted in the 3rd
I assumed
round.
in the 3rd round, wide
Yeah.
receiver. Yeah.
So to me, it's like, what I'm saying is I understand why the Browns are hesitating to sign a multi-year contract.
yeah.
And clearly other teams don't want to yet.
Let's face it, he's 29. I mean, at this point, he should only be getting 2-year, maybe 3-year deal max for
Yeah,
somebody
I say
who's
you give-
really invested
You
in
give
him.
him a 3-year deal, 2 years, and then a team option on the 3rd year. I think he'd probably take that. But let's talk about another wide out that's kind of a little bit older than this guy. Julio Jones, who I'm surprised is still out there.
He is 33. So, I mean, he is, he's listen, we look at 33, we're like, damn, that's young. But in the NFL, as a wide receiver and as a dominant wide receiver,
Zach doesn't think that's young.
as a dominant wide receiver,
Got a few
as
more
he
years
was in his earlier years, in his 20s, you're looking at Julio thinking that you're not going to get the best Julio. But I think you still have to go out there and get this guy, even at age 33. right? You have to get him for his veteran leadership, his experience. The guy can still play. The guy is still strong as hell. Yeah. Indianapolis makes so much sense to me that I cannot believe that they have not gone out and gotten.
They just drafted another wideout, and did they draft a tight end too?
Again, they need the veteran leadership.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you go with T.Y. Hilton, who is similar to Julio?
Because he's never played with Matt Ryan. Julio has played with Matt Ryan. Their chemistry is there. I think it's an obvious fit for Julio. The Matt
Ryan factor is a good point, probably the best point you made.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's where I was going.
Everything, I mean, all the other stuff you said before that
is what?
Strong.
True.
He's still, he didn't play well last year. I don't know how you know he's strong.
He's looked bad the last couple
years. Have you not looked
years.
at him? The guy's a physical specimen.
He's looked bad the last couple years.
Rocky, with him without his shirt on would definitely make Rocky say, ooh.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But he's looked bad the last 2 years.
It's happened.
And he's asked, he asked to leave Atlanta. And at least part of it was Ryan. Like it or not.
Yeah, probably.
At least part of it was he didn't feel like Ryan can make the throws.
Get the band
Do you think that's
together.
true? I mean, because you had him do that, and then you had Calvin Ridley did what he did, and has also been, publicly outspoken about wanting to leave Atlanta. I think it has more to do with the situation in Atlanta than it did Matt Ryan.
It's possible.
What situation are we talking about?
Whether it be administration or whatever the deal is there that's got these guys so severely unhappy.
Jack, what do you think? Philly needs receivers too. Would you want them?
I mean,
do they? They just traded for one.
Philly needs.
Philly
trying to bait me here.
Philly he's gonna miss 6 games, so maybe you do.
Listen,
but it's you know what though, it's not proven. So
Philly picked up Rager. We know what's going to happen to Brown. Yeah. He's going to be a bust now.
No, he'll be good, but he'll miss 6 or 7 games.
I hope Jalen Rager outplays him and wins the position.
Oh, Jalen Rager's the equivalent of a paperweight for us here in the studio. I think the Colts drafted 2 tight ends. And with their second round pick, they drafted wide receiver out of Cincinnati, Alec Pierce,
who's actually
good
has
fit.
He's got everything, 6'3", some speed.
He's a big guy,
big old boy.
Ooh.
Michael Pittman, also a big guy.
Is there really even a market for Julio Jones? Because if we're on the fence about Indianapolis, and that seems like cosmetically a good fit, where else would he be?
I think there's a few spots. I mean, if we want to comb the NFL, I'm sure there's a few spots.
I think you can make a case in Cleveland. I do. I
the
think
Packers.
I think you can make a case in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could make a case for
I'd hate for him to go to Dallas.
Yeah, but you can make a case as a third receiver.
I wouldn't care if he went to Dallas.
Well, let's face it. I mean, you'd have to be 100% stacked at that position to at least not consider him.
Older Amari Cooper. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, but just actually, I would like it because then Cowboys fans be like, oh, Julio Jones.
Oh, yeah, that'd be,
that's our year.
Yeah, and
we have a Julio Jones.
We got all the casuals.
Fourth in the division.
All right, do we have to talk about Devion Clowney? I mean,
you know what?
We talked
at this point.
Browns.
I don't want him to come back to Cleveland.
I want him to come back to Cleveland.
So I want him to go back to Cleveland.
He
so
wasted
bad.
the last moment to sign every damn time.
The man
You wanna
knows
know
his
why?
bargaining power.
It's because it's harder and harder to keep coming up with that one clip from the Senior Bowl back when he was in South Carolina to show teams to make sure that they want to re-sign him.
Listen, he's had a solid career. That's not fair, but I get what you're saying.
He had a great year last year, and
He
if he
did.
signed with the Bears, he'd be the best player on your defense.
I don't know who's more
That's
of a
100% fucking false. Are you joking?
Who's the best? Who?
We have-
Peanut Tillman?
Dude, we have
blah, blah, blah.
top 3 linebacker in the league in
Are you talking
Roquan
about
Smith.
Peanut Tillman?
Get the hell out of here. Roquan Smith is hands down top 3 linebacker in the league, and you can make the argument that he's the number 1 linebacker.
I don't know
in the
who's
league.
more
So
who's
y'all
worse.
can shove it up your ass.
But it's a
Who's the worst
linebacker.
ex-girlfriend?
But it's a
Take-
linebacker.
Doesn't matter.
Take it
He ain't gonna be
easy.
the best person on defense, Rocky. All
but
right,
he's a
That was
linebacker.
blasphemous. That's bullshit.
He's a good player. I don't know why you're acting like
He'd
he's...
be the best player. He is the best player in Cleveland Brown history. How about that?
Okay, come on.
Defense. And on the Giants, are you shitting me? They'd probably put him in on
Okay,
offense.
yeah.
They'd probably
Lawrence
transition him
Taylor.
to wide receiver on the Giants. Maybe even quarterback.
You're lashing out right now.
And in Philly,
You're
he would
lashing
definitely.
out. Wow.
He's spiraling.
You're talking about putting him on offense. You guys need a quarterback still. We don't know who's throwing the ball.
Wait a minute. This coming from a guy who has Jalen Hurts as their quarterback.
Mr.
Jalen
Leader.
Hurts is awful. You have to go out and get wide receivers just to make Jalen Hurts
Here we
look
go.
good.
Now you're reaching.
Here we go. He's...
Jalen
Hurts went to the playoffs
You answered
last
my
year.
question for me.
Take a cup away because
Yeah.
he's about another sip
Nah,
away
man.
from
You
a
guys
hard
are
fight.
you guys are out of your mind because if you don't think that-
Nobody's saying anything. You're saying everything.
out of everybody's team that's sitting at this table, if Justin Fields don't have the most promise, then none of y'all know anything about football.
Okay.
How about
Wait.
that?
Deshaun Watson.
You're
is
an
that
idiot.
promise.
That's how about it.
Wait.
Yeah, there is a promise with Deshaun Watson that he's going to not be playing for many years to come because of his.
You can say that
situations.
but you can't say he's not the best quarterback of these teams represented.
He's definitely he's the most accomplished.
I was thinking to myself, who's the worst ex-girlfriend, the Browns or Mark, as far as the clowny situation goes? But you
he got red like a tomato. Him. What are you so mad? Nobody said anything.
You did.
He said
no.
He said one thing.
You're inflammatory. It's
I
all
didn't say.
inflammatory.
What did
It's inflammatory.
I say? What did I say that you got so upset about?
You're still going on.
I'm
I
scared.
don't think this.
No,
is
you just yelled at everybody.
It's like that.
Because you're so insecure about your stupid, shitty team.
What's our next?
Fucking insecure.
Giants
My
fan.
team has won 4 Super Bowls.
I don't give a shit.
In the last 10
In the
years,
past.
and I'm not as so. Wow.
My team's won 9 championships.
When in the 50s?
Cut him off. Yeah.
Oh, so
Okay. All right.
What's our next topic?
I feel like the guy, the Simpsons kid on the bus, being so close to Mark, being irate. He's like, "Haha, I'm in danger." I'm in arm's reach here.
So how about
the MVP?
We want to talk about the MVP? All right. So everybody, I mean, you guys have probably seen this other places. Everybody's talking about, Jokic won the MVP. People want to switch their vote, think Embiid should be the MVP because what he's done in the playoffs. There's a big debate. There's a lot of good points on both sides, but what do you guys think? Do you think that the NBA, being that basically 2/3 of their teams make the playoffs essentially with the playing game, should it be an award that's awarded after or / considering the playoffs, or should it remain a regular season award? There's a few points on each side. There's a regular season. It makes it more even. Every team participates in the regular season. It's an even playing field. Then you could also say with the guys going into the playoffs, anybody that's on those 10 teams that don't make the playoffs, probably nobody on those teams is going to be MVP anyway. But you do have teams that are going to get eliminated in the first round, and then you have some guys that could play all the way to the championship and have more games to prove their MVP. Or is that baked in?
Well, I think that the issue with waiting until the playoffs is there is a recency bias. People have, it's just what the last player they saw. So I think if we're not careful, you're going to have the last player with the last shot in the last game of the championship. That's going to, it's scary.
Point.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
Good point, phone.
And it's called the most valuable player.
Right.
So, it does give credence to the fact that a player on a bad team can win. So that would be my only thought. Yeah. But that being said, I would change my vote right now. I would, based on the playoffs.
Right. I mean, and you hit the nail on the head, right? For somebody that's not as, familiar with basketball as some of your other guys, it's most valuable player, right? So it's the player that is going to get you into the playoffs and that's going to do well in the playoffs. He's leading your team, right? And that's what you want out of an MVP. So I get that, it's the regular season MVP, but they don't really, I know they award a finals MVP, but they don't award a playoffs MVP overall. So that to me would tell me that MVP should encompass the regular season and also the playoffs. And I think you need a guy that is the most valuable player, a guy that a team could not be without and not get deep into a playoff run. So I think that the MVP, personally, I think they should wait to vote maybe up until the finals. But then I also get that if you do that, then you have the 2 teams going to the finals, and whoever's going to win that finals MVP is probably also going to double up and get that MVP getting there as well. Whereas, some players don't show up until the playoffs, right? And I don't know, man. It's difficult. It's a difficult situation to think about. I would like to say regular season should have its own MVP, but I also think that probably the playoffs should have its own MVP too then, and then MVP of the final. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, they do have that for the finals.
No, that's what I'm saying, but they don't have one for the playoffs is what I mean.
Yeah, they should. The hockey does that. They should do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's
the compromise.
Yeah.
Yeah. I almost want to just pick that, to be honest. But
I think the problem with what you were saying is about waiting for the playoffs is, like I said, you do have teams that get eliminated earlier. And typically the better teams advance. So you could still have a player that's more valuable on a lesser team that doesn't advance, and a team like a guy like that's on a more stacked team, a better team that advances further has more opportunity. I think it's nice if you had the playoffs were able to bake those in, but the truth is that it's just not going to be an even thing. So probably as anticlimactic as it is, it's probably the best answer we just came up with.
I mean, it's crazy because you have a guy like Damian Lillard, right, that just tears it up all season long, and Portland's not even in contention for playoffs or anything like that. Would that make Damian Lillard then the most valuable player, being that he destroys the league during the regular season, but his team doesn't even make the playoffs?
How good? I mean, someone could play devil's advocate and say, like, how good are you really? Like, if you're tearing it up and you're still not making,
right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, Michael Jordan never won until he got Scottie Pippen.
No,
I mean,
just to play devil's advocate.
And a few other guys and a better coach, too.
Yeah, but you know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's a lot you can say about needing other players. If the Knicks would have, made it to the playoffs, right? If they would have got into the playoffs, who would have been there? They probably would have lost in the first round, but who would have been their most valuable player?
RJ Barrett.
Barrett would have been.
Yeah. And so it's almost like he may have looked amazing.
And the year before, Randall was a legitimate MVP candidate because he carried them
in a losing effort.
Exactly, and they lost in the first round.
Darius Garland this year, he was Herculean, but the Cavs weren't good enough to get to the playoffs.
But there's always this thing with the MVP that there's some people look at it like, I don't think anybody really looks at it like the most valuable player.
And they should.
It's kind of voted as the best player.
Statistics
most
is
of
a
the
big.
time.
That's why I picked Jokic as who I thought was going to win MVP, because it just makes sense statistically that he did better than he did his MVP season. He got that statistical history where he's the only player to do it. But as far as he made it to the playoffs, he had a stellar playoff performance, but in a losing effort, similar-esque to Randall. Yeah. It just doesn't make sense why we don't dumb down the MVP and make it the most valuable player.
You said Jokic. You said Jokic, right?
Yeah.
We said Embiid. Would we change?
I think it should have been Jokic, or I'm not surprised that they picked him, but I think it should have been Embiid.
I would have been okay with either one of them. I don't know if that would. I still
would have changed mine totally.
Maybe it's like what Jokic did, but I mean, that's also with seeing what happened. Because down the stretch to the end of the season, Jokic took the award from Embiid. He outplayed him.
Yeah, but taking the MVP out,
I actually would have gone to.
Giannis. I forgot you took. Oh, you went with.
No. I went with Embiid, but I would go with Giannis because looking in the playoffs,
dominance.
He's dominant.
Yeah,
I mean, if you take that player. MVP is as simple as if you take the player off the team, how good are they?
Well, you can say that about all three of these guys you just mentioned.
Yeah, but take Embiid off, and literally we have the facts of they're terrible.
I think it's the same thing.
Yeah, they did just tie the series with Embiid coming
Who else is on the? And then the Bucks are probably the best team without Giannis, but still. I mean,
maybe it's time for the MVP to get, or for the NBA to get woke and just give out participation trophies. That way, maybe LeBron.
That's a good idea.
Maybe LeBron becomes relevant again.
Ass of the week.
That guy's an asshole.
You don't. I'm going to tell you something. You don't have to do that.
No, I do have to.
No, you don't, because I could just cut to the drop in the video. You don't have to say now. It's time to go.
Don't take his board away from him.
No, I'm saying I like the board. I'm saying the intro to the board. You don't need it. You know what I'm saying?
But I think what I'm saying is no. I have to do. I think it's beyond my power to not do that.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Like I'm not saying that it's not that I want to do it. It's like it's a compulsion. Like it's an OCD.
You're an older gentleman, so you grew up on a lot of radio programs.
That's fair.
Yeah,
fair, so.
And
just burnt into.
So I just want to preface. I'm actually proud of you this week. I think this is the first.
What does that mean? Does that mean a lot to you that he's proud of you? Yeah.
I think this is the first ass of the week in a very long time that you haven't nominated either like Tom Brady or LeBron James for ass of the week.
At least for consideration.
Wait. This is. I did rail on Tom Brady during the opening sequence, but the thing is, you do say you're going to cut stuff all the time that you then don't cut.
Yeah, I know.
And like what?
I mean, you do. Come on,
give me an example.
What was the last thing that he accidentally put up on iTunes? Wasn't it?
Jared King. Yeah, you're not. Well, you're talking about it now.
We got a rail.
But wait. What was that? What's something that I didn't cut?
I can't remember now.
All right. Well, there you go.
Old and feeble.
It's like you
old and feeble.
Like your bet on Rich Horse, right? Okay.
I just noticed that shirt says slightly. Is that slightly sloppy?
Yeah.
on the back of his shirt.
That's
Slightly
cool.
stupid or no? Slightly sloppy.
Whatever.
Yeah. So who's our ass of the week?
Here we go.
There it is.
I don't know. Why don't you tell us?
I don't
guy?
even know who nominated this.
Neither do
I think you did.
I did.
No.
Okay.
All right, tell us about it then.
Well, I don't have all the details. I'm waiting for ESPN over here to tell me. But basically what happened, to my understanding, is that Chris Paul's family felt assaulted by a Mavericks fan, or is it fans,
Yeah,
plural?
a
Is it
fan.
just
Were
one?
they
Yeah.
were assaulted?
Was it just just one
It was
person?
like a family of fans.
So a bunch of people were, touching
A mob.
Chris Paul's family. On CBS, it's saying they were quote unquote unwanted hugs by quote unquote unruly fans.
Was this Tara?
Those fans have been banished for I guess you could say
No,
the
not
entire
picture.
year 2023.
That would be a great name for a band, though.
What?
Unwanted.
Unwanted
hugs?
hugs.
Unwanted hugs. Yeah, that's
I
pretty
mean,
fire. Yeah.
I call that.
Well, who's the ass? Is it Chris Paul?
Well, I
or-
guess it's up to debate now, because at first I thought it was just reading headlines. I thought it was the fans. I thought they were like aggressors towards
Yeah.
Chris Paul's
Yeah,
family.
you
in
thought they
a
were
crazy
like
game.
hitting them.
I think
or-
Chris
Right,
Paul's the
something.
ass.
I mean, let's
The
hear
kid.
it.
Look at the kid.
I
He's
know.
like 15,
And,
and he
Chris-
told him, "I'm gonna see you later."
I'm
Like,
gonna
Paul's
talk
gonna
to
go
you
beat
later.
He's gonna beat a 15-year
Well,
old ass.
but to be fair, he didn't know what happened. What he heard
he heard
was
what
that,
we heard
Yeah,
at
he
first.
heard somebody was accosting his mom
Okay.
and said, "I'm
But
gonna see you later."
I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
but if you see a 15-year-old, do you
Mama-
still say, "I'm gonna see you later"?
If Mama can't put a 15-year-old in her place, then I mean, come
listen,
on, that's Mama, dude. You
Draymond's mom put me in place on Twitter.
I know.
I'm sure Draymond would have said, "I'm gonna see you."
Do you know I
later."
spent like an hour one night looking for the receipts on that?
too.
I went
I know.
all the way back to the year after you had made that tweet. Like I got
didn't-
back so far. It was
didn't happen.
ridiculous. It
Twitter-
took forever.
Twitter
happen.
threw me off and deleted my account.
didn't
That's what
happen.
happened. It did happen.
You know what? I believe that it does, because I was reading a lot of the comments as I was going through, and like she
does clap
clapped
back.
back
Yeah.
at everybody.
I promise you, this happened. And now, to
Sure
be
it
fair, I made an inappropriate comment because I have not liked her son since
Not you.
Michigan State.
the pillar of
the
Central
community?
Florida.
Of
Yeah.
respect.
You're basically the Citrus Tower.
and I made a culturally insensitive comment.
Wow.
Wow.
I didn't
Whoa.
realize it was culturally insensitive. I honest to God,
What'd you
didn't.
say?
I said that he was playing like a gangster, and that did not sit well. So I apologize because I was wrong for
Well,
saying
why is
it.
that culturally insensitive?
Yeah,
Because
like your people were like the first.
Yeah, what do you mean?
gangsters.
You could just say he's playing like an Italian.
Your
that's,
people.
and that's what I took it
He's-
as. But I understand now that there's no
No,
margin.
Italian. We're gangsters.
He's
okay?
playing like a bag of donuts. Come on now.
Anyway, she
fill. Put
Jelly
fill in you.
she came at me,
Yeah.
and I said what I said was your son's played like a gangster since Michigan State.
Yeah, but nobody's seen it though, right?
I promise you it happened.
Would that add to Chris Paul's resume? Say he wins,
Yeah.
a finals win, leading in the league in assists, beat up a 15-year-old. Like, does that add to the category?
Listen, Chris Paul always has something stupid going on. I mean, I like Chris Paul a lot, but there's always something funny with him and weird. He's just
I think
primed for embarrassment.
I think the part
He's like
of it is
he's like the Himothy of that.
who's the point guard that he's
You don't even
playing
know what
against?
that is.
Who's the point guard that he's playing against?
Talking about in the series
in the
against the
series?
Mavericks.
Yeah,
I mean, Brunson.
Brunson,
Brunson,
yeah.
shooting guard.
and he's having some trouble against them.
Well, Brunson's a good player.
Brunson's not actually
Brunson's
having a
good.
best series though.
Well, he's having it, but he's giving Chris Paul some trouble. I think that part
Jose
of
Alvarado
the
also
Have
frustration-
you
did.
watched the series?
parts of it.
Okay.
Jose Alvarado also is giving Chris Paul problems.
Yeah,
in the Pelican series.
I think that Chris Paul's just like
Frustrated.
frustrated. Father Time is calling.
And the Mavs won
He-
that game too, so maybe
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah. He's used to being the best point guard for sure, and one of the best players on the court. And I think it's just he's starting to decline a little
Well,
bit, and I think that all
I need to jump
played
in there.
into it.
I forget where I read it or like watched it. It might have been with
ESPN
NBA on,
maybe?
might have been NBA on TNT with like Jack and all of them. I think
Is
they're
Hubie
saying
Brown
that-
still alive?
I believe so.
I don't even know. I'm gonna Google that in a second. CP3 has mastered the fact of being like really good at what he does, as far as kind of making everyone else around him good in quarters 1 through 3, like, assists and playing like in scheme and stuff like that. And in the fourth quarter, he just will take over, or at least like take over as much as he can. Like, I feel like a good all-star player shows up in fourth quarters of playoff series, and Chris Paul, closed out the Pelicans with a perfect shooting game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think he's still...
I still think he's one of the best point guards in the league. Yeah, I don't agree with what Rocky said.
Well, I'm not saying he's not one of the best.
You're just saying he's fallen off a little bit?
To being the best or one of the,
That's fair because...
He has struggled in the last 2 games.
That's a bad point, I think.
Well, that's fair. I mean,
we'll give that away. The fact that he said that.
Yeah, I think he might just be upset because he knows time is running out for him to win a championship.
Where do you put him in as far as
all time or right now?
Right now, like who's
I would probably, without listing, I would still say he as a point guard.
Yeah,
he's a top 5 point guard easily.
Yeah,
and then if we parsed it out, I'm sure he would probably wind up top 3 if we're talking about pure point guard.
Just his success on bad teams, and how efficient he is in the playoffs.
Every team he goes to wins.
So who in the playoffs right now would you put ahead of him?
As far as point guards go,
is there anybody?
I don't know.
Name the teams real quick.
Celtics,
you're just pulling
Celtics, Heat.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Kyle Lowry's good, but I'd still take him
Paul.
over. Yeah.
No, Chris Paul's the best then. Mavs,
Warriors.
Warriors. Oh,
so I'd probably take Steph.
Of course, Steph.
Yeah, for sure.
Steph number 1 easily.
That's about it.
Well, better yet, who's the best player on the Suns? To kind of go with your point of him kind of on the decline.
I think he's the best player on the Suns.
You think so?
Yeah.
You wouldn't say like Devin Booker talent wise?
He might be more talented, but he's not the best player.
Okay.
I mean, you just look at what Devin Booker and that team was before CP3 showed up. He made them a contender.
Yeah.
I just
needed help. They were a joke.
I didn't see anything that happened during this altercation. I saw the start of that game, and then I saw the end, and he just seemed off his game.
Yeah, I mean, possible.
He just seemed not Chris Paul, Anyways, but
yeah, I'm watching,
we beat that to death.
I'm watching the video right now, and it's not looking too crazy on the fans' side. So
yeah.
Well, you don't know what people were telling him, but yeah, let's get to our class of the week.
You just blew my mind.
Stay classy.
I'm convinced we do this segment just so you could play that drop.
Wait, I'm really sorry. One little thing from the ass of the week. Chris Paul said that to that kid's face.
Yeah.
I see outside.
You can see it.
I thought we talked about how maybe he didn't know. Like
No. He said it directly to him.
No, I said he knew that the kid was 15.
Oh, okay.
No, he knew the kid was 15, but he didn't know what the kid had done to the mom.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
His mom, I believe his mom was saying this kid's a costume.
She's being a little dramatic, right? She's being a little dramatic.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So, that happens.
So
Cleveland Browns.
Our class of the week is the Cleveland Browns. We won't belabor this.
That's a joke.
They need they need some good PR.
Their class of the week?
They need some good PR.
Yeah, this is a smokescreen for going out and trading for Deshaun Watson. That's what this is. This is a PR smokescreen.
Maybe, but we'll still give it to them. They did do a class move, and Catherine Raish, I believe,
is that how you pronounce that? She's got a nice face.
Catherine is well qualified, honestly, for this job.
Yes, she is.
She is the first ever. I think she's assistant GM in the NFL. First female assistant GM in the NFL.
Good for her.
It's
Girl
fantastic.
boss.
So I'm going to clarify why I'm saying that this is a PR smokescreen, because she is very deserved to be here.
You're getting
on
too
all
close to
the
her.
other 31 teams.
Getting a little too close to her.
But Cleveland went out, and they're like, we got to make this move, because
Well,
guess what? We shit the bed everywhere else.
I mean, it does look bad, although Cleveland does have 2 female coaches currently on staff, more than any other NFL team. So
Yes.
they've shown a
propensity for hiring females.
Well, minorities and females. So
Good for the Browns.
Yeah, they're
Which is good.
But they do need the PR.
How good are the
You know
Eagles?
what else they need is the championship. They also need that. So hopefully this
Well,
helps.
they have some championships. Like you.
No, well, we actually have one in the Super Bowl era.
You do have one.
We have them.
Don't
We've
open this can of
we've
worms.
spanned them across
Look what you've done.
both leagues, though.
Look what you've done.
Well,
Because we were good enough in the.
Hey, so were we.
In the
Quick
previous
question:
league.
How good
were we.
How good is Philadelphia? Joe Douglas goes to the Jets and makes them looking good.
Yeah, but you guys took one of ours.
Catherine goes to the Browns.
You guys took Oswego?
We just needed,
Quasi.
we didn't want to feel
Oswego.
empty after leaving with Catherine, so we wanted to,
Yeah, you haven't watched Invincible, though. So
I have.
No,
this was
hey,
good.
he did watch.
He
42.
did watch it.
Oh, I watched 42.
Watch
Okay.
42.
Yeah.
And what did you say about 42?
It was. Yeah, I'm not. Now I don't want to say
No,
it.
it's underrated.
It was a good pick for 5th for
Yeah.
guys on draft. I'll say
Yeah,
that.
no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's good.
Did he watch all the other movies on the list?
I did not.
All right, so then what is he like?
Irrelevant.
42 is good.
Strike
Stricken
that from the record.
Look at you guys.
Jinx,
Yay,
All right.
friendship.
Jinx, you owe me.
a Coke.
That's not Coke.
A bourbon.
BJ.
Fade away.
My leg. Hey, get him off.
I
Yeah.
feel like there's one that has another "get your balls off my leg."
Well, you could just say it. Just add it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are we talking about, really?
We're
here?
talking about. I think we're just talking about the playoffs and what we're.
Like
I
what we-
think
like
the
what we just did?
The East has gotten pretty interesting, huh?
we did talk a lot about
James
it.
Harden looked like
Oh,
James
man.
Harden for a game.
For
I'm
once.
hoping it's not a mirage because
Me too.
I want to see that series.
Well, I think
Be
you and I
competitive.
called that the Sixers would win that series. So
Yeah, well, they only just evened it up, so take it easy, right?
but we called that they would win. So
Then I called the Heat would win, and
And
they
I
won
think-
twice already too. So
And I think, going back to MVP talk too, I think that is what kind of cements in my mind that Embiid deserved it, is because they go down 0-2 without Embiid. Embiid comes back with a goddamn mask on, and all of a sudden it's a totally different series.
maybe it is the mask though. The mask.
nobody
is
cared who I was
scary.
till I put on the mask. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it was-
Yeah,
Jimmy
look at
Butler
Ben
said, "Fuck."
Yeah, I saw that.
Look at Ben Simmons though. Like he gets his feelings hurt and then gets surgery for it, and then Embiid literally breaks his face finishing
Well,
round one
he
series
is
and then
getting
comes back.
legitimate surgery, so I think he was actually pretty hurt.
It was all feelings.
No, I think it was. His
So are you saying, what's he getting then?
What's he what?
What kind of surgery is he having done?
I don't know.
I
Feeling
think-
surgery.
I think everybody should root for the Sixers. Because
Why?
If the Sixers
Oh
win,
yeah,
we get to choose a tattoo placement.
that is
Remember?
fair.
I guess.
I mean,
Yeah.
come on, that's something.
I just want a free tattoo.
Well, you don't want this free tattoo.
I want.
Maybe I don't.
Now I want.
So we choose the location, right?
We choose
No.
a tattoo.
We
So
choose
what
a
are-
tattoo.
I pick where
Give
it's
me
gonna
your
be.
top two locations right off the top
No,
of
no,
your
no, no.
head.
I pick location and size.
You
Oh,
pick-
so what do we pick? The
What it
tattoo?
is.
Yeah,
No,
the
no,
actual
no, no.
tattoo.
We
I
pick
thought-
location too.
Oh no, we do not.
Because I want this. I
You're
want
gonna
this.
put-
No, we
Just
can't.
Ben
You can't
Simmons on my
change. We got to
chest.
go back and listen.
You do
No,
a big back piece of Ben Simmons on like a bear rug.
No,
like, on a
I
fire.
want
No,
because
he's
I'm
right.
picking
He's
the
right.
back of your thigh, and
I
it's going to
went
be
back-
a pair of testicles, and it's going to say
Okay.
"Get your nuts off
See,
my leg."
that's-
I went
That's
back
terrible.
and listened, and he does pick placement.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
We pick the tattoo. We pick the
Yeah.
actual tattoo.
That's fair.
You guys
Wait,
know that show?
And size? No, because you can do micro tattoos.
I'm
That's
not,
horseshit.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be like honest.
We have
with
to have
you
a
guys.
scale.
I'm not gonna do a micro tattoo. I'm gonna do like a normal tattoo.
We have to have a scale. We got.
Alright.
We should have worked that out.
No, I'll
Yeah.
be reasonable. I guess
mean,
honest wasn't
and
the
we
word.
never-
Reasonable.
we didn't
number
get
one
that
draft pick here.
and now
for
that
sure,
you
right?
gave me
All right.
the idea of Ben Simmons on a bear rug,
No.
it's there. It's
Why don't we just put like a penis on him, huh?
Well, it's not.
I mean, is
that.
that not like the number one
You
pick?
guys know the show Tattoo Far?
Guys, this isn't good for my hireability.
Yeah, I work at a bank for God's sake.
Well, this is the beauty of the penis, okay?
This is the beauty of the
beauty
penis.
of the penis is that wherever he puts it, to hide it is going to be close to other stuff that's going to look really
It's
weird.
not gonna.
so-
We're not putting a dick on me. We're not doing that.
ultimate fantasy football.
You don't want a dick on you, okay?
do
Ultimate
not.
fantasy football league. Let's put our dick
Well,
on it.
you guys know the show Tattoo Far,
No.
where like
No.
a couple will go on like I think
yeah, I've
Snooki
seen-
actually like hosts it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen like clips of it on YouTube.
Look it up if whoever's watching
you
it's a
could-
good
Yeah,
show.
oh, there's such a funny. I can't even.
There are good
Yeah.
ones.
It's not for this show.
So-
The next show, I'll tell you what it
But
is.
to let Rocky know like what the show is, basically like these two couples that like they hate each other in a way, like they're somehow a couple, they're either friends or in a relationship, and they blindfold each other and then they put tattoos on each, like they don't know what the tattoo is gonna be, and there are some bad ones.
There are
there's
some awful
There's
ones.
a really bad one that I
like
off the
like
top
what
of my
Mark
head.
said, like testicles on the calf, like
Yeah.
that is
No,
tattoo
there's
far.
the worst. I
Wow.
can't say it here.
Do people get paid
Shit.
to go on the show? Like, why do
There
they
has
go
to
on
be-
the show?
there has to be-
probably, maybe.
Or
it's
like,
like- Why would you do it?
they get face for it, like they get to make
Yeah.
a name for themselves.
There's
I
things
think
that
there
you
was
don't
one. I think I could dance around this. It was a couple, a guy and his girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
and on the girlfriend he put a tattoo of her
I think I've seen them all, so I might know what you're talking about.
compromised and a trash can,
Oh,
and saying that maybe she wasn't the freshest
Oh, I have seen
of the
that.
bunch.
I have seen that one. Yes, I have seen that.
And
one.
that was the tattoo he chose to put on his
Yeah,
girlfriend.
there are some.
Hashtag pick 5 Summer's Eve.
Oh no.
Just cross-referencing shows here.
Now, wasn't
You really
this
had to
is-
drive that home.
So Mark has said he doesn't need validation. Then,
He needs
then begged for
validation
validation.
bad.
No,
then he said
that's
he
already in
didn't
the
pander.
past.
Get a look at him.
Then he said he didn't pander, and
That's
then he
already-
pandered. Like
The
he's
voting's closed, brother.
you're a bundle of
That's probably like
contradictions.
it's probably like soup in there. Just drinking soup
Voters,
from broccoli cheddar.
what soup would be in there if that's a soup?
Top ramen. He's slurping
No.
nudes through that straw.
No, that's
No.
some kind of bisque.
You know what?
you
I
think
hate-
the bisque?
No,
Lobster bisque?
No, that's clam chowder.
Oh my
it's
god.
clam.
That's clam chowder.
You're disgusting.
Clam chowder, that'd be difficult to get through the straw.
It's got corn somewhere there. I guarantee it.
Were we supposed to be talking about playoffs here?
Yeah, what are we talking?
I
Why
think
do you
we're
have
done.
Joker MVP on
I
there
think
again?
we're done.
Oh, I put that
Man,
on there.
this is a
yeah.
good show. We're just at an hour. This is perfect. Hey,
Wow, look at that.
so listen, guys, we love you. Please follow us on all our socials, TikTok at UFL Podcast. Here on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. You get us on Instagram. You get us on that old Twitter, that old tweet. And Facebook, I never remember if
We're still
on
there.
Facebook. But yeah, we're on Facebook. We're on Facebook. Please follow, like, subscribe,
Check out
comment.
our new show too.
Check out our new show, Guys on
Yeah.
Draft. We got a
Oh,
new
we
set.
got a new set coming.
Yeah.
It's
Tell you what,
new
sexy.
set.
It is sexy.
Yeah.
It's
And
sexy.
yeah, just keep hope alive. Peace.
Keep hope alive.